Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are tackling how to handle JWT token expiration in Angular applications. This is crucial for maintaining secure and user-friendly web applications. So let's dive in. JWT or JSON Web Token is compact, URL safe way transmitting information. It's widely used for authentication in web apps. A JWT has three parts: header, the payload, and the signature. First, ensure you have Angular installed. You can check by running ng-version or just ng version to see the current version of Angular CLI. Right now I have Angular CLI 17 installed, and now you should create a new project by running the command ng new and project name. If it is created, you can just go into that project and open it in your editor. I already have created one, so it is running in my browser already. To detect JWT expiration, we will create an HTTP interceptor. So let's start by installing the JWT code to decode our JWT. So for that, open the terminal in the root directory of your project and run the command npm install JWT decode. Press enter. That would install it. Now let's create the interceptor. So for that, I will run the command ng generate interceptor, and the name of the interceptor would be token. All right, the interceptor has been created. The interceptor needs to be registered in the Angular application module. So normally if you have app.module, then you can add it there, but if you are using the standalone components in Angular 17, you can import it directly in there as well. To register this interceptor, we will go to the app.config, and here in the app config file, we will add a new provider. Provide HTTP client, and here we will use with interceptors, and we will give it an array. In that array we will provide the interceptor like token interceptor. So this is how you provide the functional interceptors that we just created. In the past we used to have the class based interceptors, but now on in the latest version, by default it generates the functional interceptor, but class based interceptors would also work. Now let's implement the interceptor that we just made here. In this function, I will first get the token from the local storage, and then we will check if token is found. Then we will decode the token. We need to import the JWT decode. All right, now I will get the expiry date to see if it is expired or not. For that, I will use const is expired is equal to decoded token.exp if it is less than date.now. So as it is saying that it can be possibly undefined, so for that we will check if it is available, then use it. Otherwise, let me wrap it in a round bracket, and here I will use the false by default value. Now after that, I will simply use if is expired, then console.log, and here we can console the error message, and in the else case you can simply display it is not expired. In this interceptor, we decoded the token and check if it is expired. If it is, then we will handle that next. There are two main ways to handle token expiration: refreshing the token or re-authenticating the user. To refresh the token, we will now let's inject a service. Now inject the HTTP client service. So for that, here I will add let HTTP client is equal to inject, and here we will use HTTP client service. Now we have access to the HTTP client service. I can simply use it to refresh my token. So here I will use this dot HTTP client dot post. I'm assuming that our backend server is running on this port. So you have a backend server where you have the refresh endpoint. So we will simply hit that to refresh our token and give us a response that would be a new token. Okay, now we will update our local storage with that new token, and let me add a type of string here, or maybe a type any. Okay, and then we will use the request dot clone, and here we will add set headers, and in that I will add authorization bearer new token. Then I will return that next function call like this. So this code refreshes the token if it is expired. If you can't refresh your token, you might need to ask the user to log in again. So for that, you can redirect them to the login page in this case. So in that case, you can simply Let me delete all of this. First of all, you need to inject the router service. So for that, you will have to inject the service for the router. So I will inject the router service and give it a name, router. Now I will use this router dot navigate by URL and give it the login URL. So it will take you back to the login page. And also we should remove the token from the local storage because it is expired. We know it is expired, so we should remove it from there. Now it's time to test it really quick. So for that, go to the app component, and here I will create a property data is equal to empty array for now, and in the constructor I will call my function load users, this.load users, and we also need to inject the service http client is equal to inject http client. Now let's define the load users function, and in that I will use the get method to get the list of users from the JSON placeholder API, and this will give me the data. I will save the data in my data array, and now in the HTML I can print out that data array. I will use for loop, and here we have user of data, and then here I will add a div. Here let me add any array as a type just to quickly get rid of the errors. Okay, and here let me wrap it in another div. Now you can see we have list of all of the users. So here we missed one step, that if token is found then it will observe it. If token is not found, then we should simply redirect user to the login page immediately. So here you can see that it is trying to redirect us back to the login page because we don't have the token in our local storage. So for that we just need to quickly create the login page. I will generate a component ng generate c login. With that, and we need to go to the app routes, and here I will add a route path login component. Okay, now on the app component we have to get rid of all of that data, and instead of that we need to add router outlet. Okay, now you can see router login works is visible, that is coming from the login component, and instead of that I will create a new component to hold the data from the that will display the list of users. So ng generate component, you may call it dashboard, okay, just to demonstrate. Okay, now go back to the app routes, and here we will create another route for the dashboard, and in the component we will add the dashboard component. Okay, on the dashboard we also need to paste the code that I copied earlier, and also we need to move the data handling code from the app component to the dashboard component ts file like this, and make sure to import all of the missing classes. Okay, now if you open the dashboard, then you will see the no token message in the console that is coming from the token interceptor, and it is redirecting us back to the login page. Now let's add our token in the local storage manually, and let's see what happens. So for now I will just add an incorrect token and see what happens. So here I will add token ABC. Now I will go to the dashboard, press enter, and this time it did not take me to the login page, but there is an error, invalid token. So let's see what's going on there. So here when you decode the token, we should use the try catch block here. Okay, so here I will use try catch, and here we can simply display the log invalid token and remove the token from the local storage, and we will redirect user back to the login page. So let's try it. Okay, it is already done. You can see it was reloaded, so that's why it has invalidated the token and showed the message in the console and redirected us back to the login page. And now if you go back to the application, you will see that our token has been removed automatically because of this line. Now I will just quickly build a real valid JWT token. I found this very useful website that helps us to generate fake JWT tokens. You just have to provide some data to it, so I will just use it quickly. So it has generated this payload, the JSON, and if you click on that, it will give you the code. So right now it is saying that it will expire the token in 20 minutes, but I want to make it expired earlier. So for that, let's see, it is 58 right now. So I will make it expire maybe on 22 minutes. Okay. So now let's click on it and it has generated the JWT token. I have copied that. Now go back to your Angular app. Let's add that token here and paste that JWT token. Now if you open the dashboard, it will allow us to access it. You can see it was able to hit the backend API, and when the time would be finished, I will reload this page, and at that time it will stop showing the data and it will take us back to the login page. Right now, as it is not expired yet, that's why it is able to show the data every time you reload it. So let's wait for its expiry. Once it is expired, I will reload it, and then you will see it will take us back to the login page and the session would be deleted from the local storage. All right, it should be expired now. Now reload it. It did not expire yet. Maybe I did not select the right time here. I will delete it for now and let's generate it again. Actually, we need to select this one, and let me select 40, and actually let's select the 41 minutes. Here I will specify that it should be expired at 2 minutes. So let's generate it. It has generated the key. Now I will add my token here, paste it and wait for it. Right now, if you reload it, everything is still working. So okay, it should be expired now. So now let's reload it and see what happens. All right, you can see that the token has been removed and it has redirected us back to the login page. And that's it. Now you have a basic setup for handling JWT token expiration in Angular. Experiment with it and tweak it as needed for your application. If you have questions or suggestions, drop them in the comments below. Happy coding, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials.